I don't love myself. I wish I was more, and I'm angry that I'm not. Richer, smarter, more attractive. I feel small compared to what other people have achieved. I don't love myself. So I search for validation from others to fill the void in me. I look for romantic relationships and love to make me feel whole. Wake up. The most powerful self-love technique I know is called reparenting your inner child. When you heal the child inside yourself, the adult heals. And your self-love is proportional completely to the extent to which that child feels healed. As you give yourself that which you didn't receive in your childhood, you're going to see that you no longer need to look externally for love. The first thing that we need to do for this is to connect to the 6-year-old in us. The child looking up at the world with big innocent eyes, so pure. So I use old photos to try and connect to that for myself. And you can do the same, or you can just imagine from your own mind that 6-year-old version of you. One thing I want to say so you get the most out of this is that sometimes when we're not ready for difficult emotions and being vulnerable, we might start laughing, we might mentally switch off because it doesn't feel safe to truly engage in this. If that's the case for you, maybe meditate for 10 minutes first, or go to a room where you can't be overheard. These are the 3 exercises. I want you to imagine that child in you as if it was your child. And I want you to imagine that you, all this time, you've been the parent. Every single time when you've judged yourself, you've judged that child. Every time you've told yourself you're not good enough, you've told the child that they're not good enough, that they aren't worthy, that they need to work harder and do more. And I want you to see if you can connect to the pain and the sadness within that child. Hold their hands and tell them how sorry you are. And telling them that you're still working on things, you're trying to get better. The second exercise is to do with desires. To make the child feel acknowledged for their desires and to be curious about them, because judgment is actually the opposite of curiosity. We stop being curious when we judge things and we close ourselves off. So I want you to connect to what that child inside you, again, that 6-year-old child really wants, that you also want. It might be to see a friend, it might be to watch a movie, to have an ice cream, to go on holiday. See if you can ask that child, imagining that child in front of you, holding their hand. What is it that excites you so much about that? Imagine that child responding from that place of genuine desire, of excitement, maybe jumping up and down. Imagine that 6-year-old you and be like, hey, of course we're gonna get that for you. Let's go do that right now. And you enable the fulfillment of that desire with the child. And the last reparenting the inner child exercise I want you to do is being with the child when things don't go right, when the child is really sad. I want you to see if you can connect to a time for yourself where you were incredibly sad. And imagine the child going through that sadness. Maybe their body language is more closed off. Maybe they've gone really quiet, however they might react. And I just want you to go hold their hand, look at them in their eyes, seeing their pain, and just say, I'm really sorry. I know that you wanted things to go another way and they haven't, but I'm gonna be here with you. And you don't need to pretend when you're with me. And just being there with that child and saying that things are gonna be okay, and just holding that hand as a good parent would. And enabling that child, even if they're still sad, and they might be, to just be with their feelings with you. And this is gonna be the most powerful technique if you can do that every day or every time that it comes up over the next 60 days. Building trust takes time. If you've been judging that child for 10 years or however long, you can't expect to once get curious about what it wants or to apologize and for that child to trust you again. It's like a real relationship. If you continue showing up in that way, when you have a negative thought and you rewire that thought immediately and you apologize, when you feel that childish desire within yourself and you ask yourself why it is that you're so excited, when you do these exercises, you're going to build trust with yourself. And over time, you're going to see a huge transformation, even in the next 2 months, in how you relate to yourself and your self-love. Thank you.